Guys, welcome back to the Connoisseur Reviews. I just got back from watching Onward, Pixar's latest film. That's why I look like a bit of a mess right now. And whatever, let's just get into the review. I'm gonna go to bed soon, so let's get onward with this review. Pardon the pun. Having said that, I think this is a good movie. It's a solid movie. I don't think it's Pixar's great movies. I don't even think it's second tier Pixar movie, but it's a movie that's not going to be offensive. It's going to be entertaining through and through. The characters are likable. I think the two central characters, Tom Holland and Chris Pratt's main characters, while they start off a little grating because they come off a little bit much, it's taking kind of the bad parts of Star Lord and the bad parts of Tom Holland's Spider Man and kind of making it kind of most prominent in the beginning. But as the story goes on, they kind of develop and you tend to like them to an extent. But when I first started watching it, I was like, this is the main characters. Hopefully they become better, but they do, and they have a good dynamic between themselves. They have a really sweet, tender moment towards the end of the film. It's genuine Pixar moment. Um, I think the humor is solid. It's not one of those laugh out loud funny moments. I think a lot of the funny moments were shown in the trailers where they subvert your expectations with what unicorns are supposed to be, what a minotaur is supposed to be, or a manicore or whatever. And I think that's basically where it does. I don't think it expands too much beyond that point where they kind of show you what other mythical creatures are up to in this more modern take on the fantasy genre. And that's kind of a disappointment because I think if they did a little bit more world building, this movie could have been something truly magical because the story itself is solid. Like, I like the point A to point B adventure fetch quest kind of thing, but it comes with a lot of the detractors of a fetch quest, especially like a tabletop game type of fetch quest where there's a overall narrative person who narrates the story and they just kind of want you to get to the main points of the film, and that's what this movie kind of does. It gets you just to the main points just so it can move the plot forward. And there are moments of the film that are kind of unearned. Like, there's a character moment that just kind of comes left field. There's a few of those moments, and then there's moments where they're like not believing in magic and it takes a different turn. But that's what this movie does. It just has these key moments just to get to you where they want, and a lot of it just doesn't feel earned. It just doesn't feel earned. And it's not saying that the movie's bad. You'll have a good time. You'll enjoy it. The humor is good. The story is fine. You'll have a really good Pixar moment towards the end of the film. The music is serviceable for what it is. I just wish it just did a little bit more with its plot and, with its characters, because I just feel like it just doesn't hit those nuances that it could have hit if they give it a little bit more time to flesh out the story. I mean, it's Pixar. The animation is still nice. It's really good and colorful and bright. Um, but yeah, overall, it's a solid film. I don't think it's gonna make my end of the year list. I don't think it's gonna be in my top tier Pixar films or even my top second tier Pixar films. But it's a solid, entertaining movie that I like more than the bottom tier films, but not so much as the mid tier films. I'm gonna give it a 3.5. I think it's a solid film. I know I keep saying that, but that it is. It is. It's an enjoyable time. If you're flipping through the channel and it comes on, you'll watch it. You'll get a couple moments that have really good high emotional moments. It's just that there's not a lot of them, and then some of the jokes land kind of flat or they kind of feel forced. But overall, it's fine. It's a good movie. I would say go watch it. I mean, there's not a whole lot of other things to watch aside from Invisible Man, so it's well worth the time. And it's Pixar, so you'll enjoy it. I think Soul looks like a far better movie this year, and it probably will be a far better movie, but go give Onward a shot. And like as always, if you've seen this movie, let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are. And as always, you can follow me on my various social media sites at AwesomeArnoldK or on my Tumblr at TheConnoisseur Reviews. Alright guys, Gucci.